Hi guys, and welcome to tonight's live. Tonight we're talking about a whole bunch of stuff, but this one's really good, and it's essentially how to be able to start your business. Or before you even start your business, what are you going to do? What are the things that you have to think about? So, as you come in, say hello. Would love to be able to hear from you guys. So if you don't know, hi, my name is Chantel. I'm the owner behind Knititude, as well as a whole bunch of other stuff. I'm one of the ladies behind Maker Strong, as well as YYC Girl Gang. So I wanted to come on tonight. I go every single Thursday at 5:30 Mountain Standard Time, and tonight we're going to be talking about what are the steps or the things that you need to think about before you start your business. So if you are brand new, you're debating on maybe this is something that you want to do, maybe you do want to start a business, put up some hearts because I would absolutely love to be able to see who I'm talking to. If you have already started your own business and you are like going and going and going, put some thumbs up in the comments so I can see what kind of mix we are. So when I first started Knititude, which would have been over 4 years ago in 2014, my biggest thing was I didn't even realize that I had made a company. And chances are you guys are in the same boat. You didn't even realize that you started a business. It was just like, oh, this is a thing that I want to make some money on. And from there, we're just going to go for it. Well, heads up, if you end up making any kind of money on anything, it means that you are not a hobby anymore. You are a business. If you are purposely trying to sell and make a profit, it means that you are a business. So if you are thinking about starting, there's a couple things that I have to suggest, things that I wish that I would have thought of before I actually would have started my own business. So my own business is Knititude. It's a knitting company, obviously, and essentially I sell patterns and knitwear, and it first started off that I only did knitwear. So yeah, it's really evolved, and don't worry, your business is going to constantly evolve and grow. So I have a couple things that you should be thinking about even before you go into starting to make a business, as well as some steps to be able to also think about and to kind of visualize. So I'm just going to quickly grab my piece of paper and a pen. So I have a few things. Before you even start your business, you have to go, why? Why do you want to start a business? What is your plan? Do you plan on making money? Are you planning on just doing this because it's fun? Heads up, if you're doing it just for fun, it still means if you're making a profit, it still means that you have a business. But there's a couple things that you need to think about, and they do really come into the unfun part of owning a business. There's a lot of other things that are involved in owning a business that you need to implement or be ready to be able to implement. So I have a few things. One, are you ready to invest a lot of time in it? Because as a small business, everyone has this idea that being a small business owner means that you have so much free time. If you can do your business full time, then you're going to have so much time on your hands. It's not the case. Owning a business is a lot of time. It's not just like the fun parts, there's other things that are involved. So one, are you ready to invest time in it? Because you are definitely going to invest a lot of time. Whether that is at least an hour a week to like 40 hours a week. I am constantly always thinking Knititude. Even though I have a full-time job, I'm always thinking about Knititude. How can I grow her? How can I get more money through her? How can I affect other people through Knititude? How am I moving forward in Knititude? So how much time are you willing to invest? Because it's going to be a bunch. So one is time. Two, are you ready to invest a bunch of money? How much money do you have? Are you at the point where you feel like you are financially stable to be able to take on this business? And there are some associated costs in a startup. Depending on what you're doing, the first 1 to 2 years are usually the most expensive when it comes to small business. You are starting from square one. You're starting from scratch, which means that chances are you have nada for your business. So that means production costs. Maybe if you're going to start going into markets, you need to think about a market, a booth kind of shape. That includes tablecloths, maybe crates to be able to put up your stuff. let alone the actual cost to be able to make your product. How much is it going to cost to be able to make your product? Do you have the money to be able to invest in this right away? And it could be just as simple as, do I have enough money to invest in 2 balls of yarn to be able to go and make a scarf to be able to then sell it? That could be what you're investing in, but don't forget that there's a lot of other things that you're going to need when it comes to making a small business that are essential when you first start. Business cards, a logo, a website. There's a lot of things that are in that whole entire hub that you may not be thinking of automatically, and you're like, oh, I'll just get that down the road. That's still going to come down the road. You're still going to have to pay for that at some point. So make sure that do you have the time? Do you have the money for this? Because there's the whole entire saying, it takes money to spend money, or you have to spend money to make money. Sorry, as I put that backwards. You have to spend money to make money. So are you ready to be able to put a bunch of money in this? Do you have like a separate bank account that would be able to help this out? Do you have a certain amount of money to be able to put aside just for this venture? Because you're going to need to. If you are thinking, okay, I'm going to start this venture, but I don't have any money, I have $0 in my bank account, I'm going to use my husband's stuff or my partner's stuff or whatever, just know that your business is going to have to pay for all of that debt first. So are you ready and willing to spend some money? So 1, time. 2, so 1, are you ready to invest time? 2, are you ready to invest money? Because you're going to have to. And then 3, are you ready to do all of the unfun tasks? So I think there's this huge idea that as soon as you start making, all of your friends are like, oh my God, you should sell something. And I get it, because you're like, fuck yeah, I should totally sell something. I love this. Other people love it. They're gonna love it. I'm gonna sell it. And I think that people don't realize that when it comes to owning a business, there's so much outside of what I call production time. So say that you're a knitter, like me. And the fun part is like sitting down and you get to like grab your needles and you get to knit up that whole thing. But there's a lot of unfun parts of having a business that you may not be taking into account. Like, you need to go on, check your emails, and you have to respond to customers, and you have to put together custom orders, and you have to deal with shipping, and you have to deal with taking photography for your stuff. You need to do your own marketing. You need to sit down and do an email newsletter. Like, there's so many other things that are involved that I think a lot of people, when they first think, oh, I'm gonna have a business and it's gonna be so much fun, it's gonna make so much money, it's gonna be so great. You don't have to. Like, I feel like there's so many people out there that it's just like, oh, we should just sell, like, I've been told that I have this beautiful product, and I've been told that I have to sell, so I should just sell. You don't have to. And that's one of my reasons. Oh, here goes a siren. That's one of my reasons why I wanted to come on here too, is that if you don't want to start a business and you don't want to do those other things, then just don't start a business. It's okay. You don't have to start a business just because you craft and because you hobby. That's okay. So that's just my one like blanket statement that I definitely want to put out there, is that you don't have to start a business if you don't want to. But if you are, you have to ask yourselves, 1, am I ready to invest a shit ton of time? 2, am I ready to invest a shit ton of money? Yeah, maybe a shit ton to you is like $100. Maybe a shit ton to you is like $1 million. It could be at any point. 3, are you ready to do the unfun things? Because there's so many things in a business that go out of the scope of like the fun stuff, like accounting and doing your taxes, which PS, you have to do your taxes. I'm really sorry, you have to do it. Since making so many of your patterns, all I want to do is make for me and have no desire to crank out hats. Yeah, and that's totally fine. So, if you have decided, yes, I am ready to invest the time. Yes, I am ready to invest the money. I got the money. I'm ready. And then 3, you're like, yeah, I can deal with the unfun stuff. The next thing that you want to do is, what is your product? What the fuck do you want to sell? What is going to be your thing? I remember a couple years ago when I just started watching YouTube, I ended up finding a girl. Her name is Jenna Marbles. Super funny. And I was like, Todd, I could totally and this was before I knit. I was like, Todd, I could totally do a YouTube channel. like, Todd, I should totally do a YouTube channel. And Todd was like, what are you going to talk about? And I was like, and I was stumped. Like, you work in broadcasting, like, you're pretty ish funny. You know how to talk into a camera. What are your plans? Like, what could you talk about? What are the things that you love? And at that point, I was really big into dance. And I was like, well, I don't know if I really want to blog about dance or do a YouTube about dance, because that's hard. I'm not super duper into makeup, or I am into makeup, but I just I never want to spend the money. So maybe it's not that. You're not super big into style, like, you're not super fashion forward. So what would you want to talk about? So as you're thinking about this, you have to think along the lines of, what do you want to sell? What is going to be your product? And it can't be multiple things.
The pepper.
Okay.
He just peed and I...
Okay. We have a puppy. We have a Kurt coming in on a live. Hi, buddy. It's because he peed. Sorry. So what are the things that you need to do for your business? Like, what do you want to focus on? I apologize if it is freezing. Bump out and then come back in, because it's not saying anything on my end. So what do you want to focus on your business? What is your business going to be about? Because if you have multiple ideas of what your business is going to be, and you're like, no, I do like makeup, but I also like jewelry, but I also like knitting, but I also like this, all that it's going to do is that when you end up trying to sell, you're going to be all over the place, because you won't be able to sell one thing. You're going to be selling multiple things, and it's going to really make you, like, spread you thin. You're going to confuse your audience, because half of your audience is going to be like, oh, I came here for knitting products, or, sorry, pause due to poor connection. So what is the thing that you want to focus on? And don't make it multiple things, because if you do multiple things, all that ends up happening is that you're going to confuse yourself, and then you're going to confuse other people. So if you go in and you're like, oh, I want to sell knitting, oh, I want to sell jewelry, and maybe I'll also add dream catchers and everything else like that, all that ends up happening is that you spread yourself too thin, because you're trying to sell all of these different things, and then your audience or whoever is following you is just like, I don't want to fucking follow this person anymore, because all that ends up happening is I see half of things that I don't want to see. I'm here for the knitting portion, so why am I seeing dream catchers? Why am I seeing jewelry, etc.? So make sure that once you need to figure out what is your product, what is your thing, whether it be crochet, whether it be knitting, whether it be whatever you want to put it as. You need to figure out what you are going to talk about. And then from there, once you've done that, is what is, I like to call, what is your unique selling point? What is your USP? Which means, what makes you different than anyone else? So say that you want to, I know, he's just popped in. Say that you want to knit. Okay, that's awesome. There's thousands of knitters out there. So what are you going to do differently than someone else that will make your product stand out? Maybe it's the way that you market it. Maybe it's that you use a specific material to be able to make that. What is that one thing that makes you different, that people will want to purchase from you instead of anyone else? So, I know, he's just like having a ball, hey? So what makes you different? Hi. What makes you different than someone else? And how are you going to involve that in your product? So I do have a blog post on your unique selling point and how to figure that out. It is on my No Shit Biz Tips blog, but I will talk about that at a later date as well. And then the last thing is, who is your target market? And I know that sounds like a really scary word, but essentially, if you could dream up one client, like one person who always bought from you, who would that person be? And envision everything about them. So how much money do they have? What kind of style do they have? What are the things that they enjoy? What movies do they like? What price point are they going to be able to sell stuff at? Oh,
Long hair.
hey?
Long dog.
Such a nerd. So I know he is. He's getting so big. He's 11 weeks as of Monday. So who's the person that you're targeting? And every single time that you are marketing towards them, make sure that you imagine that one person. Every single time that you put something out, you're thinking of that one person and you're selling to them. So who is that for you? Is it a female that is, like, is it a woman who's a mom who has 2 kids that wears yoga pants and hates jeans and watches trashy, like, housewife stuff and loves keeping up with the Kardashians and will save up money to be able to make sure that she has enough money to get like a Kylie Jenner lip kit? Like, that's what you need to think of. Like, who is that one person, and kind of like figure out what they do, what they kind of talk like, what are their buying habits essentially. So why are they going to buy your stuff? So those are my couple things, and I wanted to keep it short because I did want to talk and see if anyone had any questions. Jesus, EMS, shut up. Go save someone. So I'll quickly go over those as well. So say that you want to start a business, but you're not even sure. You're like, what are the things that I need to think of before I start this business? P.S. My mug says killing it. So the things that you need to think of before you even start your business is, 1, are you ready to invest time? Because holy Dinah, it's a lot of time. 2, are you ready to invest money? Because yes, you're going to have to spend money to make money. 3, are you ready to do the unfun jobs? And when I say unfun jobs, I'm talking like the accounting, the taxes, the production time, the research time to be able to get the right materials. Your marketing is marketing something that you want to do. These are all these like different hats that as you grow into your business, you're going to go, okay, today I'm going to put on my customer service hat and I'm going to answer all the emails that I have gotten responses to, or I am going to reach out to people who have liked my product or have given me reviews. I'm going to put on that customer service hat for about 2 hours. And then from there, I'm going to take that hat off and I'm going to do my accounting. So I'm going to put my accounting hat on and say, okay, what are my expenses for the month? What have I spent money on? What have I made money on? And then how much money have I made? How much money do I have to put towards taxes? So after you take off that hat, maybe you put on your marketing and you decide to create an email news blast. So are you ready to do the unfun things that are not just like the fun part of making your product? Because chances are you're making your product. And also at the same time, is making a business something that you actually want to do? Because it is a shit ton of work. It's a lot of work. Like, holy Dinah, it is a lot of work. Are you ready to be able to get down and put nose to the grindstone and actually do it? Because that's the way that people either succeed in their businesses or they don't. So, and then from there, before you start, what is your focus? What is your actual product that you're going to be selling? 2, what makes you different? So what is your unique selling point, your USP? What is going to drive you above the competition? And 3, who is your target market? Who is your ideal customer that you want to be purchasing your stuff? What kind of business do you recommend? I've heard a lot about LLC. So there's a couple different things that you can do for your business. I wish that I knew a lot more about it, but I don't. Essentially, there's multiple. There's an LLC as well as a sole proprietor. So a sole proprietor, say that you end up, example, I am a sole proprietor. So that means that as soon as I end up making any money, all that I end up doing is that when I go to my tax forms, all I do is I take however much money Knititude made, and if this is my full-time job, all I take is my Knititude and I add it on top and bring that number together, and that is what I file my taxes for. A sole proprietorship just essentially means that you are the only person who is working in your business and you make all the money and you make all the decisions. Now, an LLC is it's a limited corporation. A lot of people, as you first start out, I don't think that you need to become an LLC to be able to run your business. I know many people who have been running their businesses for 10 plus years as a sole proprietor and they don't have to worry about anything. An LLC is just really good so in case you were to get sued, or say that you end up having a product that could easily harm someone. a limited liability corporation. Thank you. So say that you end up having something that, let's take skincare for an example. I would really suggest becoming an LLC for a person who has a skincare line, because you were talking about stuff that people are taking and they're putting onto their face and their body is ingesting it, which means that if people have a different reaction, they can then sue you because you are the person who created that for them. An LLC essentially would make sure that if they sued you, they couldn't sue you out of house and home. Say that you had a partnership or two people ended up owning the same business. That would mean, this is probably an easier way to explain it. So say that there's two people who own a business and they've now created an LLC. It would mean that if someone sued one person, it wouldn't destroy both of them. It wouldn't destroy just that one person. It would then be equally taken on by two, if that kind of makes sense. If that is incorrect, please let me know. I'm not like a lawyer. I've never actually gone through an LLC. I've never like registered my business as an LLC, but when you go into it, make sure that if you decide to go into an LLC, make sure that you are reading the fine print, as well as ask for more information than just the document that they give you. They essentially give you like a one-pager, and there's not enough information in that. But I would definitely say that if you don't have like a really big risk, stay as a sole proprietor, because it is way easier. You don't have to worry about essentially paying more shit on your business. And LLCs get taxed a little bit differently, I think, and have to give money to a certain person. So if you have other people below you or like investors, essentially. I wish I knew more. Yeah, a limited liability corporation. So if you guys have any questions, let me know. So I do plan on keeping this a little bit short. I'm going to see if I can start putting this onto a YouTube channel so that you can watch it constantly. So if you do have questions, please shoot them out. The whole entire month of May, we're going to be talking about the steps to be able to start your business. Okay, yay, we're back. Sorry about that. My internet crapped out. So essentially all of May, what we're going to be talking about is how to be able to start your business and some of the steps. So next week we're going to talk about like what are the next steps after you have one, you've figured out that you want to have a business, and then two, you figured out what your product is going to be. Then we're going to go into kind of about like naming and what are the next steps. So if you have any questions, please let me know. Did you guys see me yelling at Todd, being like, are you on the internet? Get off the internet. We need to get a new internet. So I have a bunch of plans for May, and then hopefully in March, April, May, June, we're going to talk about marketing. So the next things that we're going to talk about is the steps to actually starting your business. One, in today's live, we talked about, yes, you want to start a business and the things that you need to think about before you even contemplate about starting your business. And then two, how to be able to choose your product. What is your passion, essentially? So do you guys have any more questions before I end up doing anything else? Anything? This is always like the awkward like part where I'm like, oh man, are people actually gonna be able to talk? What I was saying before my live conked out is I'm gonna be trying to put these onto Instagram, or not Instagram, it's on Instagram, onto YouTube. So we'll see how that actually goes. Do we have any other questions? Things that you need to think about? Oh, that's okay. It's gonna be live. Don't worry. I do tell you what time I'm coming on, so I promise I always stay at the exact same time. Okay, well, if there's no more questions, thanks for joining in on my live. I hope that you enjoyed it. I'm going to try and put this onto YouTube. We'll see how it actually goes. But join me next week as we're going to talk about the actual steps to then be able to figure out what you plan on doing with your business and how to be able to get that ball rolling. But either way, thank you guys for joining in my live. I hope that you enjoyed it. I know that it was really, really quick. So I will talk to you guys in a little bit later, and we'll see you next week at 5:30 Mountain Standard Time. Bye, guys.